Present is from EinsCare. Please welcome Donald Garrison.
Good evening. First off, I want to say it's great to present to a group of people like this that have a passion like I do for connected health. I'd like to congratulate the other 5 finalists and also thank you Boston Scientific, Google, MedStro, and MedTech. Eins is a German term and it means one, and we're a group of healthcare IT professionals that's focused on care for healthcare, and so hence the name EinsCare. Our initial focus right now is bringing to the market improvements in targeted patient adherence. These are strategies that guide, remind, motivate, and engage the population to follow medical or healthcare recommendations. Not following medical advice can be a major threat to health and well-being, and we also know that the costs associated with that can be significant. This is particularly true with our aging population. Interestingly enough, elite athletes are among the most disciplined when it comes to some sort of daily regimen. So our first entry in our concept is in the area of the sports world, and we're looking at something called off-field analytics. What we mean by off-field analytics is what they do to prepare and get ready for a game and what they do after a game. We can learn a lot, and we can learn a lot about what their personal peak performance levels are and how they got there, and there's a lot of success factors. Tom Brady, 40 years old, just competed in his 8th Super Bowl. He had his best performance yet. How did he do this? What is he doing different that others are not doing? We think that there's lessons to be learned from this, and I'm not here to talk about the TB12 methodology or anything like that, but we think that success leaves clues, and there's some best practices that we could apply here. Currently, there's 5 off-field analytic areas that we're looking at. The first one is exercise and workouts. The second is their diet and hydration. The third is cognitive performance, and the fourth is rest, and then finally recovery. There's a correlation between these off-field activities and best practices and daily routines that can be applied that will improve patient adherence. Our solution, as you can see here, enables increased adherence through suggestions, best practices, and notifications leveraging RPM, or remote patient monitoring, with all the stakeholders involved. For an athlete, the stakeholders would be a coach, a trainer, and a physician. But outside in the real world, outside of sports, an application could be for our aging population, where the stakeholders could be a family member, referring physicians, specialists for monitoring whether mom or dad are doing well and how they're doing today, and did they take their medications. It's trying to get them to be more engaged. There's also use cases with the youth and teenagers that we'll be exploring later on. This holistic viewpoint of the off-field data points plays such an important role in the on-field success of elite athletes that we believe our vision is to apply these in real-life scenarios so that we can all be at our best. Phase 1 is where we are right now. We're customizing a training regimen designed for elite athletes and remotely monitoring by the key stakeholders that they have. Phase 2 is coming up very soon and will be applied to other sports and activities, but also to our aging population. Phase 3 will get into disease management, solutions, and RPM. The algorithm is the same, the data is different. Phase 4 will be the development of additional wearable devices. So what if we could assist our aging population in being more vibrant? What if we could assist our aging population in living in their 50s, 60s, and 70s like they did when they were in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s? 10 years ago, I summited Mount Kilimanjaro. Why can't I do that 10 years from now? The more active we are, the more engaged we are. The more engaged we are, then the more we'll adhere to what is being recommended, resulting in healthier lifestyles, longer living lives, full of vitality. That's what I want. I think that's what most people want. It's all about applying best practices in sports and applying the general population that will improve health. EinsCare will save lives and it will save money. Thank you.